Moving on to other news now, and Lebanon's caretaker prime minister has warned the Palestinian president that the Lebanese army will intervene if rival factions don't stop fighting in the Ain al Helweh refugee camp. Najib Mikati says the gun battles are a flagrant violation of Lebanese sovereignty. 5 days of battles between rival Palestinian groups have killed at least 13 people and displaced thousands. Let's bring in our correspondent Zeina Khodr. She is joining us live from inside the refugee camp in southern Lebanon. So what's the latest there, Zeina? Is that very fragile lull in fighting holding?
Yes, an uneasy calm, but a very tense situation because people are still concerned that clashes could resume at any time. There is no formal agreement in place, no ceasefire, no agreement to end the fighting. And that is why hundreds of families are still displaced inside mosques and schools, waiting for security guarantees in order to be able to go home. It's been nearly a week since the latest bout of violence began. This is a camp which has seen violence time and time again between the rival Palestinian factions. And we spoke to a top commander in the Fatah movement. This is the mainstream movement, the strongest party inside the camp. Their top commander was killed on Sunday, and they've been demanding the killers be brought to justice. The other groups like Jund al-Shem have still not heeded that demand. But Fatah is also telling us that a military option or a showdown is currently not on the table because this is a costly option. So right now we are at a standoff, a military stalemate. And the question is, how long can this continue? Markets are closed in the camp and people are poor. If they do not work, they are unable to put food on the table.
All right, Zeina, so no formal ceasefire agreement and also a very unusual security agreement because the refugee camp is in Lebanon, but Lebanese forces are not in charge of security there.
Yes, the Lebanese state has no jurisdiction inside Palestinian camps. The rival factions, they're in charge of security. It's a long-standing agreement dating back decades. We heard the caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati tell the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas that the army may intervene to contain the fighting, but that's easier said than done. It is not a decision that Mikati takes alone. You're going to need a consensus among all the top politicians in this country. It would be a costly operation. The last time the army did get involved in one Palestinian camp, it was because it was a target. It was targeted. And this time around, the warring parties have not targeted the army. So very few options really on the table, or at least the option of a military showdown would be very, very costly. Jund al-Shem and the other armed groups refusing to hand over the killers. So it's not clear how long this situation can continue.
Zeina, thank you very much for that. That is our correspondent Zeina Khodr live from inside the Ain al Helweh refugee camp.